Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Penalty Loop Podcast, a podcast about biathlon by Jordan Gottschalk from Penalty Loop and a regular guest, RJ Weiss from Biathlon Analytics.
RJ, we did it.
Hey, yeah,
we did it.
Another
We're
off
back.
season. Yeah.
Yes. It is the week of a World Cup race for the first time since we were last together in Norway, which is kind of crazy to think.
Man, that feels like a long time ago.
It does, doesn't it? There's only a couple things have happened.
Yeah, true.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and just getting back to the Sunday evening schedule, and it's in a way kind of weird to, have to get up early again next weekend.
I was thinking
I'm
the same
forward
thing.
to it.
Yeah. We've had a fun last few months. I think we had a lot of people on. We had trying to think who we started with. I know we had the Sluttermark siblings. We had Camille Bened. We had Lotte Lee. We had Pascal Perrot. We had Logan Pletz. We had
Andrew.
Yes, we had Andrew. Emma Lunder was on at some point in there. And Eustace. And then did we go straight from Eustace to, was it Campbell Wright, and then Nick Hartweg and Caro.
Lotte was before that, right? Lotte Lee?
Lotte was before that. Yeah, I think she was. Been busy. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
it's funny because it almost felt like we were just getting into the interviews.
I know.
And then,
So it's funny.
But hopefully we'll be able to catch up with a few during the season. I
would love to do that. When we do the interviews, I keep a list kind of on the side. Just usually it has some like a time stamp, and then it says like mute RJ or mute J, because we start asking a question on top of each other, because I think we get really excited. And it was funny to watch. We did like 3 or 4 interviews in quick succession, and to what the number of times that happened went down dramatically by the end. And it was like, it's like you sort of get into a rhythm of, you can sort of expect when a question is going to be asked or prompted. And I was like, man, we just got into a rhythm. So keep it going.
I thought you were just getting tired of me and just cutting you off all the time. You're like, okay, whatever. Just let him go.
No. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. And like you said, I'm hopeful that we'll be able to have people on sort of in the middle of the season, midweek, just to do a quick checkup, how the week went, do a little on the ground, how the course is looking, what the conditions are like. And I think
it's something that still kind of interests me very much, because obviously you see everything on the weekend when the races are happening, but then the traveling and the booking out of the hotel and booking into a new getting into a new hotel and setting up, drawing straws, who you sleep with in the team, in certain teams. We'll get to that.
Yeah. We got a taste of that last year in Norway on Thursday when we were both there, and just seeing just what went on at the stadium and the hotel on that Thursday. And it was just kind of interesting to watch how just the interactions. And I think it's a little bit different being the last week of the season. I think for a lot of people, the pressure is sort of off by that point.
And the weather was great. And
oh my gosh, it was.
But at the
glorious.
same time, we've had seasons before where everything had been decided already at that stage.
Oh, absolutely.
Where there was a lot of things still open, right? So I know you've alluded to the fact that you're going to be there again. Are you already set to go to Oslo again this year?
I wouldn't say I'm set. But I have already asked for the time off from work.
Okay.
So it is, if I need to, I can always open up my schedule again. But I blocked it off and just said, you know what, if I can swing it, I would say last year, I think I told you that there was a 1% chance I would go or something like that. 99% chance I couldn't go. This year, I would say it's probably closer to like 75% chance that I will go.
Then it's a shoe-in, because
I know.
if you go from
we saw
one
what happened
to
last time.
go, then you would go to Oslo.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah. We talked about, you and I. We had mentioned Novi Mesto. And actually, this leads in very well to what I was going to bring up. We had talked about going to Novi Mesto, but it sounds like nobody's going to be there.
I know. Well, I thought you and I could participate to fill the field.
I think we could. Every single person we interviewed mentioned that they won't be there. I don't know if you were.
There's also a gap between the last World Cup and the Olympics. Not the last World Cup, but of the period. But yeah, it seems like it's going to be quiet.
It is going to be quiet.
Which is kind of
looks like
unfortunate because you would think that the crowd's still going to be there. Mm-hmm. Although they probably know too. I don't know if that would make a difference for them.
I don't know. But that was one of the things I kind of want to mention, as this is sort of our season preview. Is it's an Olympic season, so it's a little bit different, especially like that. People setting up their season different. Everyone always wants to peak for world championships, but you remember so clearly in 2022 how many athletes were open about that the Olympics were their only focus, and I don't think it's been as in your face or as open this season. But I mean, you still, you hear so many, and of so many athletes where that clearly is going to be their main focus. I'm thinking about some older athletes, people who have already accomplished a lot personally, and that would be kind of the crowning achievement. So I think you see athletes kind of format their season a little bit differently, maybe prioritize the February as opposed to the early races. I think we heard Nick, who I think it was, who specifically mentioned that when in Östersund, like, he is very happy and excited to see where his form is, but he really isn't all that worried about the finishes, like where the placement is. It's more about building towards the ultimate goal. And so I think that will make things look a little bit different. We saw back in 2022, really on the men's side, I think it was pretty much only Quentin Fillon-Maillet who targeted the overall. I think Jacqueline did originally, but sort of, didn't have the full season, but the Norwegian certainly didn't. So it'll be interesting to see who on the men's side and the women's side, particularly, in my opinion, are going for it from the beginning. And then also interesting to see. Two? I'm sorry?
Who comes to mind? Who is like, well, the chances of an Olympic medal are limited. Maybe just a year to go for the overall.
I could see Franzi, having just won the overall last year, saying this would be, I got the overall last year. I really want to get the Olympic medals now. I could see that being a big thing. And I was thinking
I meant
about
more, who do you think, who would focus on overall above Olympics?
I would wonder if Lou would say, you know what, I've got the form. I can do both. I could see, I could see any of the Norwegian guys doing both this year. Erik Perrot, I think, could do both, but those would be the guys that would come to mind. But then I really am thinking of the older athletes like Lisa Vitozzi, or who's not old, but she already has an overall, or Franzi, or.
But she, I guess it's more like, who do you think would not particularly aim their peak around the Olympics, and more like, hey, if I'm in good form, great, but I'm not gonna evolve
I think maybe I said it wrong, or in not quite clearly, but I think every season everyone wants to peak for world championships, but they also are going to target the overall. When I'm thinking everyone, I think that the top athletes, and I think sometimes in Olympic seasons, I think particularly going back to 2022, I think about like JT Bowe was definitely not in overall contention form for most of the season. So I'm wondering if there's going to be anybody that does something like that, where it's like, I don't, not that they don't care about December, but just using it more as building for training. Whereas I think that somebody like an Erik Perrot might use the season or plan their season more like a regular season, where you, of course, want to accumulate all the wins, and you also want to peak for Worlds. Try to do both. But so that was kind of my thoughts on the season. just as a whole. And then it'll be interesting to see what races people skip. I mean, it sounds like everybody's going to be skipping out on Nove Mesto. And I understand it. It's the last one. It's at low altitude. So I think that most everyone said that they were going to go up to their altitude.
Do you think they should have scheduled a high altitude?
High would have been nice,
at least
right?
the highest they can.
Like
to sort of prep.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, by the time they made the schedule, I'm guessing at least a year ago, I mean, the Olympics were already
well in
planned
advance
for years. So, but
I don't know that they put the Czech stop in a position to be successful.
Yeah,
we'll see. It's still gonna be fun. Like you'll have all.
I mean, it could
IBU
be that
Cup
they're.
people.
Yeah, it could be that they're thinking, those people will show up anyway, right? We're still going to have good crowds where maybe, I'm sure there's other places where people are like, well, if all the superstars not that there wouldn't be crowd, but it'd
just be less,
quite reduced. But
yeah, so I think it'll be a good season. But I just think that the Olympic seasons just feel like there's more pressure I on the 2 weeks as opposed to the whole. Anyway, just how I always feel about them is that it almost feels like, especially when you get to the third trimester, that a couple of those races almost feel like an afterthought. Not that they are, but the pressure valve seems to release, and I think that you see some funny races come after that.
But at the same time, the interesting thing is that it applies to 80% of the field, probably, right?
Right. Yeah.
So maybe that still evens it out and gives the people that know they're not going to the Olympics an edge on.
It's true. That's gonna be fun. I'm already so excited to. I already set up my schedule with work to not be in the office for the days of those races, so I can.
I need to think about that too. Actually,
be ready to watch them and chat right afterwards, because I'll need to chat with you because I got a hell of a lot of thoughts.
Hey, anything that's not at 3 a.m. will work for me.
It's going to be so much
better.
Although
actually, it might actually still be 3 a.m. But
no. It's actually you'll be okay. I think the earliest for you will be 5.
Okay. Oh, that sounds so much better.
Oh, right. Were you able to watch any of the preseason races, the test races that happened?
I did see some of it. I had it on in the background, kind of thing. We've been so busy with the Renaults going on, and
for sure.
That I didn't really have the time to sit down and watch the whole thing.
I thought it'd be kind of fun just to go over, not necessarily race by race, everything that happened, just
for sure,
the top thoughts out of sort of each venue.
I did find it very interesting, because I think not the last one, but the races before, where Vitozzi did really good, and where she was basically, it's almost like I think I watched it on Eurovision, that they were almost handing her an Olympic medal because she was so good now that, it was sort of in the bag for the Olympics, it seemed. But then I think the last event, she did still have a top 10, I think.
Yeah, let's hop right in. So she was in Idre,
sure.
in where the Swedish team was. The German men were there. The Estonians were there. Probably a few others. Those are the ones that really figured the most prominently. And she was 4th in both the races, behind the Oebergs were up there. And Lynn Pearson had a really good race, and then I forgot who came in 3rd in the other one, or who came in 2nd in the other one. But
Lynn Pearson is coming back from an injury, right? Or surgery?
Yeah, I said Pearson, but yeah, she is back from like 2 years away. I think it was 21 months or something like that she wasn't racing, and she had the 2 operations on the one shoulder, and then she actually missed a week earlier because of the other shoulder. So she is definitely, I would say, in a fragile state. We can talk more about her in a little bit, but yeah, she definitely did very well in one of the races, not quite as well as the other one. So peak performance still looks like it can be very good. And I was impressed with Hanna, actually, because she has talked and she's missed a couple of the training camps because she's had this recurring tendonitis in her knee, this inflammation in her knee all off season. So I was expecting her to maybe start slow, but I mean, she was sensational. I think she was first and third in the two races.
Bring her up because from what I saw, it's probably the first time in a couple seasons that I saw her having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it was just a good day or whatever, but I think after talking to Geilo and talking about, you want to have that fun again in the sport. Of course, you work hard, but that made me think of that right away, where I felt like she was just having fun again. And she's definitely, well, I don't think you can even call her an outsider, but I don't know. Like, she's one of those people where I can't really explain why, but I have a feeling that she's gonna kind of do well, and probably her last Olympics.
What is she, 30?
Yeah, she always feels a lot older than she is, probably. But
because she was, wasn't she was in Korea. Yeah, I can't remember how old she was then, but she was.
I feel like she could have been in Vancouver. Like, I don't know. She's just one of those people that feels like she's been around for so long.
She has
30 years old. So
is that what she is? 30? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess she could be around in 4 years. The team is going to be still quite talented.
And only turned 30 earlier this month.
Oh, man, that'd be so great to have another great season. I feel like it's been a couple of years since she was really on her A game. So that'd just be a lot of fun. It just makes it fun to have her back. I think she's really good. The other person, it occurs to me now who finished in third. You know who it was in the other race? I think it was Anna Magnusson.
She was on fire. Like, so far from what I've seen, Loop 1 and the races I've seen after that, she seems very strong.
Yeah, your girl. What do you think? Is this going to be her? Is she going to challenge? Is she going to be? Where's she going to be?
It might be her best season ever. I think Hanna and Elvira are just one step above, but
sorry, she was in fifth.
But at the same time, like, I can see, I don't know. But if Elvira and Hanna are really focusing on the Olympics, and Magnusson is having a really strong start of the season, she could be one of those that, of course, still will go all out for Olympic medal, but might also just have a very strong season overall. I don't know if I could see her win it. Yeah, I think that's possible.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I mean, obviously somebody has to fall out, but again, if somebody chooses to focus only on the Olympics, then that can happen.
But I also don't know, like, for Nova Mesto, if it's like the whole Swedish team, for example, that would decide not to go, or if there's certain athletes that are like, you know what, I'm just going to go. Well, if
I'd rather race.
Maybe it gives me positive.
Yeah.
But I think it depends on the weather too. Like, if the conditions are really sloppy and icy and dangerous, then maybe even more athletes will be like, well, I don't want to risk it, right?
Mm-hmm. And then you have, right, there's the other part of the calculation. If so many athletes are not going to be there and you're like, well, I have an opportunity to maybe get a win or a podium. Like, I might as well go. But
I still think, I mean, we've talked about that at the time, but I still think that's one of the reasons why QFM won the season.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, well, I might as well do it.
What did you think of the men?
Well, before we forget, I wanted to mention that Janina Hettig-Waltz, in her comeback from maternity leave, she raced very well there, and so well that before even the German women had their selection races, the coaches decided to go ahead and give her a World Cup spot. So we will be seeing her for sure, at least for a week or two in the start of the season, which is really exciting. I'm loving all of these athletes who have found the ability to somehow balance being a parent and a world-class athlete, because I don't know how on earth they do it. I just don't.
Well, in Poland too, right? Hojnich?
Yes. Yep.
I know I pronounce it wrong, but yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Regina Ermitz had a good race as well. I think she had a top 10 out there in Sweden, which is nice. You mentioned the men. Sebastian Samuelsson was ridiculously fast. I think he just like blew away the field one day. Pogsy was also very fast, and he would have blown away the field, except that
he didn't blow away the targets.
Yeah, exactly.
Although from what I remember, because was that the race where they just assigned 22 seconds instead of a penalty loop? Or was it? Yeah. And I don't think Ponsi would have beat Samuelsson, even if he's shot clean.
No. It was actually reassuring to see him do his normal thing, though, just some things are so certain in life.
But it's such a, Samuelsson is always fast in the start of the season.
Oh, I know. Yep. Hey, it's almost like he can't help himself. It's like, all right, I'm going to be the fastest man on earth for 2 weeks. And then, what happens after that? It's fine. And then the German
you would
men,
think season after season that you could also plan it in such a way that he has that peak, in the Olympic times. But it's not that easy, I know. But
well, maybe they will. Any other men that you liked from that race, from those races?
I think Justus was very solid.
Yep. Philip Horn had a good race.
Philip Horn, yeah.
And Frotcher, was it Lucas Frotcher who won one of the races? I think he won the second race.
And he was definitely not on the spot yet, right?
Well, he wasn't yet. He is now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, good for him. I think that him and Riet Mueller and Horn and Simon Kaiser had good races, good weeks out there, and did what they needed to do to get a spot. And that means that we'll talk about it more later. But I mean, Kuhn and Roman Rees are not going to be there, which two guys that we're used to seeing on the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
What about Norway? Did you catch any of those races at all?
No, I didn't. Again, couple of quick videos, but
yeah. The big news
I
coming
do
out of
remember
there,
seeing that Buchan was, in the mix.
He was, yeah. Didn't quite make the World Cup, but he's the first reserve, I think, for them. So I'm really excited. I love that Buchan has made this comeback, well. So that's awesome. Perrot, Eric Perrot was in fine form. I think just what we've seen from him pretty much all off season. I think Christiansen looked pretty good out there.
Dala Shevdal, how did he do?
Not well enough. He was.
He's not on the team?
He's on the IBU Cup to start the season. I know you'll be stunned. Boughton won the first race and took one of the qualifier spots. Christiansen was very good in both. I can't remember his exact places right now, but top fives in both, or fifth and third, something like that. And Frey was second in the first race. I think he was like 14th in the second race, but the way that the Norwegians do the qualifying, getting a top three basically locked him in to getting one of the selections.
And was Surim sick?
He had a weird, he talked about having this, I'm glad you brought that up because I'd forgotten about it. He had a muscle cramp or some muscle pain that came on during one of the races. And so he was not able to finish. And he is right now on the roster for Östersund, but he mentioned that he doesn't know, he's hopeful, obviously, that he'll be able to race. But I think that the door was definitely open that he may not be there. Just because it was, he was not racing well to begin with, obviously, and then they just pulled him off the course or he stopped because he was just in too much pain.
So it's not unlikely to see Buchan.
Yeah, I would say I don't know if I would bet on it, but I would say it's maybe 50-50 based on the way that Sturm was feeling.
Yeah, Perrot, I'm really curious because, I mean, obviously he looks very strong and, he already was very strong last year. I do wonder, I think this is kind of the first year where he's going to be the clear number one on the French team.
I think so.
If that's going to make a difference for him. Like, he seems very confident, but it's still going to be sort of a new situation, which also might be good for QFM and EJ. Pressure's off a little bit, maybe.
I agree. Yeah. Perrot is front and center. I mean, winning famously or infamously, however you want to look at it, winning the race in Dresden. Sort of running away from everybody.
If you ask me.
Running away from everybody at Loop 1. I think he won at Blink. He won the second race in Norway. I think he has he's taken the mantle of one of the men to beat, and I think you're right. I think if QFM wants to use that as fuel for the fire and sort of operate a little bit in the shadows, if he chooses to, could be good for him.
Could you imagine that this is going to be Eric Perrot breakthrough season where we have, we had Fourcade, JT Bow, and then maybe Eric Perrot?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
How frustrated Sebas Samuelsson is going to be.
Man, or Sturla, like if Sturla, like he's right behind JT Bow all this time, gets his one globe and then gets
but at least he got it right.
I know, yeah.
And I've thought about that again. Like, it's not like JT Bow was slowing down at the end, thinking, "Oh, the season's almost done. This is it. See you later."
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I find it even more impressive thinking about it in hindsight that he, under all that pressure and, at different levels, seemingly a bit more support for JT Bow winning it than him and still pulling it off. I thought that was quite the feat.
Well, and especially the way he did it too, right? Because JT Bow, obviously, like you said, he wasn't slowing down. He made that charge. He won the sprint in Oslo, and it could have felt like, oh, here he comes. But, I mean, Sturla was just as good in the sprint and came in, but he came in second and won the pursuit, I think. And Sturla won the Globe. I mean, like you said, he rose to the challenge and took him down. He didn't win by default. So it was very nice that he was able to do that before Johannes retired.
Yeah, well, to know that you won it, beating the best.
Yeah.
Maybe not ever. That's always debatable, but at least one of the best in the world that we've ever seen in biathlon. So,
do you think about that same weekend? Very different subject. Do you think about we just had that walk to the stadium with Perrot? Was that on Thursday when we were just walking into the stadium and chatting with him about everything that's going on, and that could be a guy that's about to win several overall globes in a row?
I have thought about that, but the one thing that I've thought about probably most in that situation is that they went down this crazy slippery hill that you and I, on our normal boots and hiking boots, were struggling to get down safely, and there they are on their little, ski boots, and he wasn't the only one, right? And it's like
they were all going down there.
And it really, what would have been like 1 extra minute, maybe, if you just walked around on the sidewalk. But, I mean, maybe that's just a young spirit, not even
I can totally see that, him just being 23 years old and just, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
But, I mean, it was others, too, that older athletes, too. But anyway, that's something that always comes up in my mind. Like, could you imagine that we were there when he slipped down and broke his ankle or whatever?
Guys, if you have not,
he probably would flow down if he fell.
Look at Perrot's legs. His ankles are as skinny as my I feel like my wrist. I mean, these tiny little bones. It's amazing that he's this fast, and that probably actually is thinking about it physiologically, like why he is so fast is actually his build, but it is so alarming. One bad step,
or
and
low
I feel
drag.
like he's going to break everything.
Yeah.
No, there actually is.
It works.
There is a physiology, just to get scientific about it, about how, for your distance athletes, there's the form, the build of the calf is actually it's more compact and it's closer up towards the knee rather than bigger and longer. Yeah. Anyway,
But it's not like he has massive calves or massive thighs or anything. Like he's pretty skinny all over the place. Little dude. Right?
Yeah.
Like the only way I can describe it or explain it to me is that, cross-country skiing is also such a technical sport.
Yeah.
And I can't really judge if he has better technique than everybody else, but I mean, looks pretty smooth to me.
Looks pretty damn good. Yeah.
But it is interesting. You compare him to someone like Christiansen. And they're still both able to win, right? So
yeah.
It's
and if you guys,
that's kind of the cool thing in the sport.
If you haven't listened to our conversation with Caroline Knoten, definitely go and listen to it, because she actually talks a lot about exactly that, about just the different body types in biathlon, and it was really cool. It was fun hearing her talk about it. On the women's side, what'd you think about Doro?
Well, I think she answered a lot of questions for people if she's still able to be good.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I can't imagine. Well, I wouldn't say that, but she must be one of the most motivated people on the Olympics, being in her basically backyard. And I would definitely think for her last.
It's got to be. Yeah. She looks so good.
It's awesome to see her back. And it was also based on ski speed, if I recall correctly, because she used to gain a lot of time with the shooting fast, and I think she's still very fast, but
fantastically well. I think it was the sprint. She had 3 misses, and still, I'm actually going to pull it up because I want to get the exact number, and I've got it right here in front of me.
But she just looked really good.
So she had 3 misses in her standing shooting, and she finished 26 seconds, 25 and a half seconds back of Marin, who had 2 misses. So basically, you can think about it as being roughly on time. Yeah.
And it's funny too, because, sometimes you think for home athletes, it's a disadvantage because they're going to get even more press. But, when you think of her Instagram account, I think she feeds off that in a positive way, right?
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, she doesn't have any travel time because, I would assume that she stays in Antholz.
I think it's going to be amazing. Whether, no matter what, I think that if she wins a medal or not, it's going to be so fun to watch her in that element, because she's like you said, she's built for it. Like, she's just built for being in front of the cameras, and she's going to be an amazing host because she's sort of the de facto host. But knowing that she has the ability, it's not like she's just sort of going to be there in a ceremonial spot. Like, she actually really does look like somebody who could get a medal. And that's awesome. Because there were times last year, even, she didn't look like Doro, right? She was there, but just didn't quite look like herself. But yeah, I was so excited.
I wouldn't necessarily see her as, like we've seen in the past, where JT Bowe wins 5 gold medals and is kind of the king of the world championships or something. Like, I don't see her as the queen of the Olympics grabbing like 4 or 5 medals. But any event she can be on the top spot for sure.
Could you see her? Like, what if it was? I'm just going to set this up now. She has gone through the Olympics. Maybe she gets a relay medal, like in the mixed. But otherwise, hasn't won any medals. And it comes to the mass start, and it's the last chance. And then she goes out there and has a perfect 20 for 20 and gets a gold or a silver. Oh my gosh! What if she just retired on the podium? This is it. I'm done. Like, I'm not even going to finish the season. Like, it can't get better than this.
Well, I don't know. She must have, if she's really far behind because of illness earlier in the season where there's no, I don't know if people would retire right there and then, but
no, I think that she would still, even if she skipped a couple weeks, I still think she would show up in Oslo just for the celebration, right? Just to do at least do the last couple of races and get the celebration and the lap of honor. I thought that Tandrevold answered a question that I've been having, at least in the mass start. She didn't look good in the sprint. She didn't really look good at any point over the summer. I think that in pretty much every race, I kind of was like, it's the summer. She clearly has a different focus in mind. She doesn't need to perform well at Blink, or she didn't even race at Blink, but she didn't need to perform well at the summer nationals. And then she got to the sprint and didn't look great. And I was like, oh boy, what if she doesn't have it anymore? And then she gets to the mass start. Great race. Going into the second half of the fourth lap, so going into the last shooting, she put a move in, she put a surge in to gain some extra time going into the last shooting, and confidently knocks down all five, skis away for the win. And I was like, I haven't seen that version of Tandrevold since like the first half of the 23-24 season, like before World Championships. That was really nice to see. So that was good. I'm not expecting her to be in the overall mix necessarily. She could be, which would be awesome. But I am just happy to see that version of her still exists, and maybe we'll get to see it a couple times this year. It'd be fun. And then did you see Lotte?
Yeah, didn't she have a second?
She was very good. She was on a podium, a top 5. That was really cool. I'm really excited for Lotte. We saw her win in Dresden. She looked great in Loop 1. She then had this really good weekend in these races, and I'm excited about it. I'm really hoping this is going to be a big season. I'm not expecting anything outrageous. I'm not expecting her to be like Suvi from last year, but just seeing her consistently up, top 10 would be awesome.
I just love it that a couple of years ago when she talked to us, she talked about Maya Klutens coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And now they're just driving each other to higher levels, right?
Yeah. How cool is that?
And especially with, how many times did they both shoot clean or?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's not like one is way faster and one is a better shooter.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Do you think, it's probably too much to ask. I was just thinking mixed relay with her and Maya and Florent Claude and Thierry Longer. Hey, they could top 6.
Yeah, that for sure. And it's one of those teams, I think, if everything goes well for them and some other teams have off days or one of the athletes has an off day, then a podium could be possible. But yeah, then all the stars need to be aligned in the right direction for that team.
That'd be so much fun. I'd be so happy for them.
They're
sort of like the little engine that could, They just keep plugging along. It makes me happy. I just love seeing them out there.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to mess up her name. The Norwegian who is now competing for Denmark. Is it Debesh? Anyway, she had a top 5 in the mass start as well. And I just thought that was really crazy that we had Denmark and Belgium in the mass start top 5.
But she's not the one who, with her brother, went private, right? Or, not private, but have their own coach? That's
No.
Yeah.
And then
what do you think of Shirkaida?
Oh, there we go. That's who I was going to mention. She looked awesome in the sprint. Won the race.
Yeah, but how did she do the other race? Because
in the mass start, I don't remember.
Okay.
I can.
Who would you pick as the best Norwegian at this point? Who not at the current shape, but more like who would you expect to see as the best Norwegian at the end of the season?
Shirkaida. Would you pick Tandrevold?
Caro would be really happy with that answer. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
You were correct. I'm sure she would quibble with it. But no, I think that her ceiling is the highest. I shouldn't say the highest. Tandrevold obviously has a very high ceiling also, but I think that Shirkaida also has a high ceiling and will be able to replicate it more frequently than Tandrevold will.
Mm-hmm. I felt sad. I kind of missed the whole thing, but Juni Arnekleiv seems to have dropped from, potentially being the best on a team to she's not on a World Cup in Östersund, is she?
Nope, she's not. Yeah, she's slipped. It's hard, Oh,
of course, yeah. But I mean, at the same time, it's not the strongest Norwegian team that we've seen in the last years. No,
yeah. So I totally agree. I was just going to say, I think it's hard to be Norwegian. And of course it's hard to be,
let's just
on
say
the French team.
Hard to be a Norwegian biathlete.
A Norwegian biathlete, yes. Yeah. I just think that the presses in the expectations are so high. I mean, and for a good reason. The previous generations of biathletes have set the bar very high. That's just got to be it's got to be difficult to do that year after year.
The interesting thing is that the way she looks, she reminds me a lot of Sophie Chauveau, who also feels a bit like an up and coming star who's almost been passed by so many French girls.
That's a pretty good transition there, RJ. It's like you've been doing this a little bit. We could transition our way right over to the French races if you want.
That wasn't my intent per se, but we can do that.
Was there somebody else you wanted to talk about from the Norwegian races?
No. I looked up Juni Arnekleiv's page to see her age.
Yeah.
Because I thought she was young, and she is still young. And then
24?
I saw the picture, reminded me again of Sophie Chauveau.
Is she Juni is 24?
26.
Man, I thought she was even younger. I think Sophie is also 26, 25, 26? Has anyone seen them at the same place at the same time? Does she just change uniforms?
She is 26.
Well, the French women had their qualifying races as well. And Sophie, I mean, not to jump right to it, but she did not qualify. I totally agree with what you're saying. A couple of years ago, she had that fourth place finish in Annecy. What was that, 3 years ago now? And there was the race that Anna Magnusson won, and I remember the team celebrating her and throwing her up on their shoulders, and it really felt like, here's this young and upcoming star. And then, like you said, the last year or so, she's gone back and forth between the IBU Cup and the World Cup. But we've had so many young French women come up. It almost feels like at 26, she's practically ancient, and she's like missed her time. And all these the French women are coming up.
Kind of felt like when Sophie was coming up, she was kind of almost kind of kept out of the wind, given time to slowly come up. And then all of a sudden they opened this can of super young, super fast girls. And then all of a sudden it's like, what? I'm not even on the World Cup anymore.
Jean Richard. Yeah. Did you see the results of the races in France?
Well, I know that Camille did really well.
Really well. Yeah. She won 2 of the races, and I think in the third race, the middle race, she was good. I can pull up the results real quick, but the last race was actually the most impressive to me. She won it. Lou Jean-Monod only competed in one of the races, and again, Lou, she knows she's on the team. She's not trying to peak for these races, but Lou she beat Lou by 30 seconds. Lou had one extra miss, but do the math, and she's right there neck and neck with Lou. I mean, that's a pretty good marker to have. Camille, she was in fourth place in the middle race, so she went fourth first.
Okay,
and stamped her ticket with authority. I exchanged messages with her briefly just to send her congratulations on making it, and she was very happy. But she's also she was pretty clear that this wasn't her goal. Making the World Cup was a goal, but her goal is to now show what she can do on the World Cup. So
yeah,
I'm excited to stay. Because like we just mentioned, if you don't, you're going to get passed out pretty quick, because right behind her was
the top 5 in the IBU Cup are mostly French, probably.
Oh, I know. Well, I was going to mention the girl right behind her, Meget, is an even younger French woman who finished second behind Camille in 2 of those races and looked excellent. There's still Geilo Guiganot. She had a decent week and qualified. Voldaja is down there, and anyway, there's
Celia 7 spots,
there's
right?
So many. Was that?
They have 7 spots in Östersund because
7.
They won the IBU Cup and
yeah.
Well, yeah.
We'll get into that in just a minute. We'll get into all the team dynamics, but Justine won one of the races as well. Ocean looked excellent. Jean Richard was up near the top as well. So I think that the French team, no surprise, looked good. Camille looks like she is looking to join the team and not leave it. So I think they're going to be in a familiar position of who is the unlucky one that doesn't get to stay on the World Cup, which is tough.
Was Simon racing in Bessans?
She was not. She's on her suspension, and she is not back until the week after. So Östersund is 2 weekends, and then she comes back after that. So she'll be back for Hochfilzen.
And do you know if the integrity unit of the IBU, the BIU?
They have mentioned that they are looking at
BIU?
it. Yeah,
right.
They've mentioned that they're looking at it, but they haven't said if they're going to actually recommend any further suspension.
I mean, in the end, it's really more like a French team and French federation. Because I mean, she didn't do anything to the other competitors, as far as we know. I don't want to speculate, but I mean, from what we know, it's all internal in the French team. Now, you could argue that maybe she's putting biathlon in a negative light, but because I mean, if you're thinking of doping use, then you're basically cheating on the whole biathlon community, or at least the other participants in the race. Where I think this was more of a
interparty,
that's not really related to biathlon. Yeah. Now, Jean Richard, to me, is another discussion. I don't know if that's something you want to get into, but
certainly interesting. I'd be willing to talk about it.
Because to me, that's more like, even though it was in the French team, that is more like it's another participant. In this case, it was a French, but to me, that wouldn't fall necessarily under the team. That's more of a IBU level, because you're cheating on an opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Was it ever proven? Has it been proven in court, kind of thing, or
not in court? I think it's only it's well acknowledged at this point, but I don't think it's been officially said yes or no. Certainly, nobody has come out and said absolutely no, that did not happen. Which I think says all you need to know. If anybody doesn't know by now, I'm sure you do. But Jean Richard was caught by Justine Brézard-Boucher manipulating or adjusting Michelin's rifle before one of the races in Pokljuka last year. Which is sort of an odd thing to do to one of your own teammates. They were in competition for the U23 Globe, but not something you would really hope a teammate would do. So
And
yeah,
to be frank, I find it interesting that it didn't come out right away.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Especially
they
since
did a really
it seemed
good job
like there was like
covering it up.
witnesses seeing it happen.
Really good job. Cover up is too strong a word. I should say they did a really good job of
keeping
the lid on it.
Low profile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which at the same time, it's like, is that the right thing? If let's say the French team knew, isn't that something you should bring up at the IBU? That, or, like I said,
as you mentioned,
even though it was in the French team, the BIU, but it's still, like I said, it's still doing something illegal in the competition. But
I agree. No, I agree with you that I think this, as far as competition goes, is more worrisome. But they say that they handled it internally, and I have not heard anything about the BIU taking it up. That, of course, just because I haven't heard it doesn't mean it's not happening. I am not, the
I think they
authority. But I don't see that going any further. Apparently, she missed a training camp early in the season, and they called it a day. And if I was Ocean Michelon, I would be a little bit irked that was the only punishment. But
it really makes me think of the discussion we've had before, where I forgot who it was on the Norwegian men's team, who basically crawled over the fire line to pick up a magazine or something during a race and didn't get penalized.
Yeah.
And then, a girl on the Estonian team, I think, got disqualified because she stepped on her own pole by accident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe that falls in that category.
Different rules for
I don't know.
Different people. I also wonder, are the French coaches amazing because they've been able to have such high level results with all of this chaos going on? Or are the French coaches completely in over their heads that they have these highly talented athletes and there's so much apparent dysfunction? I mean, that's really wild, the amount of things that have happened within that team just in the last couple of years. And if it was just one athlete, that's unfortunate. But two athletes is starting to become a trend, and I don't know. And it's
and I can't help thinking that with Jean Monod being so close to the top position 2 years in a row, like a handful of points. Like on the one hand, if somebody says, that had no impact at all on my race results, I totally believe it. But if somebody says, it was a bit distracting every now and then and reduced the focus,
I totally believe it.
Yeah, we'll never know. And not, but yeah. It's just a really odd situation. Did I see a new coach? Because I remember seeing a French shooting with a coach that I didn't recognize. And that might have been just like an additional coach because there were so many French athletes that they just had multiple coaches scoping.
You may have.
But they didn't have a major change.
Not that I'm aware of, but I might have just missed it. It might have been during the middle of the summer and I just didn't see it happen.
Yeah, that must be tough to keep a positive atmosphere in the team.
Yeah, and so they have, I don't think I'm breaking news here. They're basically, I'm going to try to say this carefully. There are basically two training squads within the team. So in just looking at social media, I think you can do a pretty good job of figuring out the different squads, right? So you'll have Lou and Justine on one side. You'll have Julia Simon and Jean Richard and Sophie Chauveau will be on another side. I think Michelon does a pretty good job of trying to stay in between, in the middle. I wouldn't blame her for not wanting to spend a whole lot of time with Jean Richard. Like I personally would have a hard time getting over that, and I know that,
but it could be. I think I asked you before. You don't necessarily know if they're from the same regions, right? The people that hang out with each other.
If they are, it's completely coincidental. Yeah. So that much I do know. But and so they're having to work around this. It just has to be such a pain in the butt, and I think about somebody like Camille who's coming into this, and she knows them. She's been training with them. Like, this isn't something totally new to her, but it's got to be kind of weird, It's like almost like a trying to be friends with everybody. I don't know. I would have a hard time.
Well, it really makes me curious, like, because if they did a relay, they seem to be able to, high five and hug each other and stuff. And is that genuine in the sense of, okay, well, we may have an issue, but on the tracks, we're all team and we get along like we did for so many years, as far as we know. Like, it's, yeah. I get this awkward feeling thinking about what it would be like when you're a new athlete and you're chatting with Julia Simon in the hallways, just chatting, and then you see that, say, Justine Bressard sees you chatting with Julia Simon, and you're like, oh, does she think now I'm on her? I don't know. We're probably blowing things up, and maybe they don't even think about it anymore, but it's hard to imagine that it would have zero impact on the team.
I totally agree. I completely agree. And that's where I think about somebody, I think about Camille Bened more than the others because we interviewed her.
Yeah. It makes me think of what I alluded to or mentioned earlier, the Swedish team being followed by the TV crew for a year. Wouldn't that be interesting if the French TV had that? Probably wouldn't be broadcasted.
It would be so good.
Sure be a hit. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. It would be so good, nobody would believe that it wasn't scripted.
Yeah. It would be interesting, just more from a psychology perspective or, performance athlete perspective, how to deal with that.
I hope when we're several years down the road, one of these women gives an interview and just like says, hey, this is what happened. This is what it was like. It's got to come out at some point.
Yeah.
And you know what the crazy thing is?
It's a bad situation, let's be clear, but it is interesting that you actually hear about these things, because I'm sure in every sport things like this happen.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't hear about it.
But the wild thing. This team that we've just spent however long, 10, 15 minutes talking about their dysfunction, I still think they're the best team. I still think that they have an amazing chance of having at least one, if not two or three women in the mix for the overall. They're still probably going to win a whole heap of medals at the Olympics.
Yeah.
in spite of all this lunacy.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Do you remember, was there a time where some nations would have two teams in the relays?
A while back.
You would have a Norway
there
one
was,
and two,
there was a
and
time
Norway
when
two.
that would.
Yeah.
Yep. That'd be fun to see.
Because it just makes me think that I think France could have a second team that could still compete.
For sure.
Right. Like the Norwegian men had.
Just gotta go grab Alex.
Yep.
I was watching her on the monitor, and she scooted up and she bumped her head on the headboard of the bed. Poor girl. And she woke herself up. Sorry. You were saying a double Norwegian or a double French.
If you would have a second French team, I think, like we've seen so many years with the Norwegians, that if they could fill 10 participants or two full relay teams, they could still go for the win. And you wouldn't be shocked to see one team beat the other.
That would actually be fun, right? Because you can even start it right now. You could say you put Lou and Justine on one side, you put Julia and Jean Richard on the other side, and then fill in the rest. And
to emphasize the split in the team,
right? And fill in the rest and let it go.
I'm not sure how well that would
be pretty
go.
Exciting. I would love to see that relay.
Yeah, that would be.
You wouldn't even need anybody.
Happen.
You don't need any other teams on the tracks, right? Just those two teams, and just see what happens. Oh man! And just from a personality standpoint, like I would have a hard time betting against the Julia Simone team because she's such a and I mean this as a compliment. She's such a killer, right? You know, when she gets into those situations, man, that'd be a lot of fun.
Only a little bit of extra pressure, I would think.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Speaking of pressure, I'm going to move us over to Germany. The German women had their selection races this weekend in Ruhpolding. The men, the World Cup team was already selected. They did their IBU Cup team was selected today as well. It will be official tomorrow, and we'll find out. And a little bit of drama in Germany as well. We know most of the team. So you'll have Preuss, obviously, Grotian, Tannheimer, and Vogt are all locked because of their performances last year. Janina Hettig-Waltz, we mentioned, she got the selection as well. And then there were 2 spots left. Anna Weidel won the first race and then did not race today. I'll come back to that. Marlene Fiechner, she won the race today. I think she was 5th or 4th yesterday. I don't have it right in front of me. She is all but assured of getting one of the spots. And then you have Julia Kink, who was very good in both races. She finished... Let me pull it up just so I make sure I get the exact spots correct.
And was it just German teams or German athletes racing?
Just Germans.
Or was there other? Yeah.
So Kink was 2nd today. And yesterday she was in 7th. And she had the 2nd best skiing behind Fiechner on the weekend. The other spots were kind of up and down. But again, so you had Weidel, who only raced one day. You had Kink, who raced both days. And it really is going to come down to her. By the time you guys are listening to this, it's already been decided. Anyway, so Weidel, it's not really official why she didn't race today. My initial assumption was that it was because she had it all locked up, that the coaches said, hey, you've got it. Don't need to race. But apparently that is not for sure. So just kind of it'll be interesting. But again, by the time you listen to this, it's already been decided. But I'm really curious. I think you can make really good arguments for both. Anna Weidel had a really good full summer. She did better in the races at the summer national championships. Julia Kink, if you're going strictly off of the points, she was the only one who raced in all of the races to qualify, so she would take the position. So I'm just curious how they'll come down on it. But either way, well, it'll be interesting. I mean, either way, I think that this is the 7th position when they lose that extra starting spot because of Preuss. Then Preuss's overall win. Then
is it for both weeks though in Östersund? The extra spots, yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah, they get it for the full week, all of the races. So we'll see. And then on the men's side, I think that Elias Seidel and Linus Kesper will fill out the IBU Cup, along with Roman Rees, Kuhn, and the other guys who's I can't remember off the top of my head because it's now 10:30 at night and I just have forgotten. So I apologize. That was it. There were some races in Italy as well. The Latvian women and the Italians raced over there. nothing too much to speak of. And not anything too exciting.
Sure.
Biba looked very speedy, but and then it looks like Esther Wolfa and Elsa Blydell will qualify along with her. Biba posted a video on Instagram of them celebrating in the locker room. Apparently, they've all gotten very close. Those other two women are 20 years old, so they are 14 years younger than Biba, which is just kind of cool to see them all celebrating together.
Yeah, okay.
It's just kind of nice.
On the Italian team, who were obviously Doro and
Doro and Lisa, and then
Augenthaler, she part of the team?
Augenthaler is definitely on the team. I'm pulling it. I don't have it right in front of me, but I have it close at hand.
Because I know they have a couple of younger athletes that are always, fighting for the extra spots.
Yeah, so it is Doro and Lisa, Hanna Oeberg, Samuela Komola, and then Michaela Carrara are the 5. And on the men's side, if you care, then there's Jacomel Hofer, Didier Biona, Elia Zeni, Danielle Capellati, and Patrick Braunhofer are going to be the 6. Did you see the U.S. team was announced today?
No, but I heard that they have shown their new outfit for the Olympics, and that apparently it's really cool. No, I didn't.
Yeah, it is. I like it. It looks pretty cool. I'll send you a picture in just a minute, but on the men's side,
surprises?
One, but only a mild surprise. So I had talked about I didn't know if it was going to be Jake Brown or Sean Doherty. Ended up being Sean Doherty for the final spot, along with Campbell, Germain, and Schomer. And then for the women, Joe Irwin, Chloe Levens, Margie Freed, and Lucy Anderson are the 4. But Lucy Anderson is only there because Joanne Reed has to go to the IBU Cup to collect IBU points. And then when she gets the points, she'll come up to the World Cup.
Right. Assuming she'll do well.
Yeah. Canadians, we have Adam Runnels, Logan Pletz, and Jasper Fleming are going to be the 3 for the World Cup. And I spoke with Andrew Chisholm, and they are talking about the timing for relays. So how to bring an extra guy up from the IBU Cup for the relays to make sure that they are, but they're trying to make a schedule out for that so they can make sure that they don't waste somebody on the World Cup just sitting around, but also not losing the opportunity to score the Nations Cup points. And then Pascal Paradis, Nadia Moser, Benita Pfeiffer, and Shiloh Rousseau for the Canadian women. And Rousseau had an awesome summer. She did very well at the U.S. Nationals. She skied well at trials. And I don't know if you saw this. She is studying. She wants to go to med school after this. So I will be a big fan of hers.
Your favorite, yeah.
Yes, big fan. But Andrew Chisholm was really excited about her. Said that she made big strides this year and really feels that she's going to have a good year. So I was excited about that.
No, it is cool. And she's been on the pod.
She certainly has. Thank you for getting her.
That's what I find funny too is, that Shirkai that we were mentioning is probably the best Norwegian athlete, and in the IBU Cup in Cameron that we had her on as well. Just looking at, I think, and I have to dig really deep who the Norwegian girl was who won the overall IBU Cup. Then, was it Krakstad Johansson?
Anyway. Beyond me, yeah.
But where she was just kind of, waiting for the ceremony and stuff, and we just ended up chatting.
That's kind of cool. I'm looking forward to come up to Canmore, to obviously for a lot of reasons, but just to be there for races like that will be fun.
Yeah, well, hopefully the snow will be better because it's still not as we would like to see.
Not in good shape.
Well, there's Masters races. I think not next week. I think November 6th. If I'm, well, I would like to. I don't know if I can make it work with everything going on at home and stuff. But so far, like, we have Monday night biathlon, and last Monday the range was closed, and it sounds like this Monday is still 50-50 if it's going to be opened for any shooting.
Tell them to
Which
get on
is,
it, man.
Not for construction, but more because lack of snow.
Well, you said it's getting colder, right?
It is, but
yeah.
I mean, it seemed like they lost almost, you know how they roll out snow from last year, and that's usually a really good base for, the rest of the season. And most of it has just melted away, at least in the stadium.
Man.
So yeah, we'll have to see.
Last couple things I wanted to hit. The Swiss. So when we interviewed Nick, he mentioned a young Swiss man that he was excited about, James Pakal, and he has made the World Cup roster. So we will be cheering him on. Yep, that was very exciting. Leah Meyer,
you heard of him before?
On the juniors, yeah, I saw him race a couple times. He had some good finishes actually. So I'm excited, and I spoke with him. I mentioned to him that Nick had mentioned him on the pod, and James was very touched by that, and he said that he felt he made some really big strides over the summer, and now it's about transitioning from roller skis to snow skis, which I thought was funny because we had just talked to both Campbell and Nick about that transition. So,
but he has an advantage, right, Campbell?
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah,
as explained, yeah.
And then Leah Meyer is going to be on there, and I only mentioned her because we spoke with her in Oslo last year, and she was quite funny about her spike ball skills. So I'm excited to see her. On the Austrian team, they are rolling with Lisa Hauser, Junja Zuduc, and then three Annas. So you got Anna Gamler, Anna Juppe, and Anna Andexer. So it's the team Anna with two others, which just makes me happy. It just makes me happy to see the Annas. Anna
Do
Juppe,
you
by the way,
happen to know from social media if Anna Gantler is completely recovered from all the medical issues she had?
She's not. I spoke with her the other day, and she's not. She's hoping to feel better. She's not sick. She's recovering, but she just was not
quite
not quite all the way there. I say that she should blame Emilian because she is having to nurse him back from his back injury, but she is not. She's not going to do that.
Well, if he has back injury, it's probably from all the videos she makes him do.
Because they lugging around all the camera
hilarious. Yeah. About another medical situation, Davidova. Do you know anything about her?
Oh,
because
yes.
Last I heard is that her back's still not optimal.
She raced in the Czech races in Finland, and she apparently looked excellent.
Okay.
So yeah, really good.
But
really good.
I mean, she's looked excellent before with a lot of pain on her side. But is there any news about that?
Only positive news right now. Whether that's
fingers crossed.
Yeah. The Austrian men, they had their races in Obertiliac, their test races. Eder came in second. Campbell Wright joined in, and Campbell Wright mentioned that he was only able to beat Eder by, I think, a minute and a half. Eder's 41 years old or whatever he is, and Campbell was upset that he didn't beat him by a full 2 minutes. I also mentioned that Eder being the fastest Austrian at 41 years old is either a credit to him or a tough sign for the younger men. And I'm going to go with credit to Eder.
Turned 43 in February.
Oh my gosh, 43. Fabian Mühlauer and Frederick Mühlbacher. So Mühlauer is a young man. I think he just graduated from the junior level this year. Mühlbacher is a converted cross-country skier, and they are both fast. They also have a tendency to miss some shots. So if they hit, they're good. But if not, it can be a rough day.
If anything, I really hope that Eder is going to prove this year that last year was just an outlier, his shooting.
And hit like 97%.
No, I know, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. I know what you mean, because he's always been so exceptional, and last year he was just really good. To if this is the end for him, to close it out on a really high level.
You know what? It's like with him. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable saying that this will be his last Olympics. But not 100%.
100%.
Didn't his dad race until beyond
in his 40s? Yeah. There was another Eder that raced at these races, and I was really curious, was this his kid that was racing now?
Also, there's Alfred Eder. Oh,
that's his dad, right?
Might be his dad. Yeah. And his... At this time of the evening, my calculating ages is not going to work, but I'll quickly look up the other two Eders. We have Benjamin, who is 45, so
well, probably not.
He might still be racing, but Bernard, 41. Oh, sorry, there might be a whole whack of them. Oh no, that's and then we have
that all the Eders?
Eder. Oh, Munford. Oh no, that's different. Yeah, no. So that's it.
We've exhausted the Eders.
Yeah.
Oh. So I just went on the IBU website. Johan Eder. Nope. This is sensational. Everybody who's still listening now at the hour and a half mark or whatever this is, getting to know the history
Eder
of the
family.
Eders. Yeah. Did you already look at Benjamin Eder?
Yeah.
Oh, here he is. Samuel Eder, August 25th, 2008.
That's crazy.
Wouldn't this be so exciting? Oh man, please be Seaman Eder's kid. That would make me so happy if they race together, and then Seaman Eder retires,
and then he continues for 40 years.
Yeah. We'll have to keep doing this until I'm in my
my
60s to get all of his
what
career.
I find even more impressive is that it would be quite the surprise if Eder wins. But I still feel if Jakob Fuck,
oh my gosh,
he did it
right,
and
he just did last year. He just won last year.
Everything needs to work out with the weather conditions and everything, and the form. But I don't know, man. You just never know
that Falk. I mean, Falk. He's a little bit younger than Eder, but he's roughly the same age as Lucas Hofer, right? And they both had their peak at the same time. And I feel like Hofer is in a completely different stage of his career at this point. But Jakob Falk, man, he just keeps going. He could be around for another Olympics if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Don't know that he wants to, but. Before we go, any predictions? Anybody that you want to predict is going to have a great season, a Suvi Minkinen-like season, or compete for the overall?
I'm really curious more if Suvi is just had a sort of a Lena Häcki Gross season.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yep. Good poll.
Where it was the peak. I mean, I really, really hope not. Like I mentioned, I am curious because I wouldn't label Eric Perrot as the man to beat for the season because I don't think that gives enough credit to someone like Laigret.
Mm-hmm.
But I am curious to see how he's going to handle being the number one on the French team and potentially being the number one on the World Cup for a little while.
That's a lot of pressure. Here's a question for you. Which Norwegian will be the second highest ranked Norwegian at the end of the year? I'm gonna spot you, Laigret, as the top Norwegian, whether he wins the overall or not. Who's going to be next? And I'll give you some names just to.
No, there's one that popped to my head.
Who's that?
If I'm pretty sure Frey. He's the one with kind of the baby face, with all due respect. But
no, you're correct. Yeah. God, he was so good last year. I was hoping to trick you. I was going to give you Uldal and Surum and Stromsheim, but no, you saw right through it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously they can all win races and they can all end up the best Norwegian at the end of the season. Ligrid, I'm really like, he didn't do overly well with the races, but then he already got a spot anyway. So
yeah, I was wondering.
I can imagine he maybe didn't try as hard.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So he was just sort of on cruise control. Oh, speaking of not trying as hard, Preuss raced at the Obertiliac races and just crushed the field. So she did not show any mercy. Like she just ran away from everybody. It was not a fair fight. So she obviously.
Do you see her competing for the overall?
I didn't before last week. If that's her form, she might just fall into it. Because it's the sort of thing, like, if your form is just so good that you end up just collecting podiums to start the season, well, you're sort of it. You're in the overall. You're there by default.
Well, and I think, the benefit of Olympic season is there might be people that could be contenders, but maybe don't have a really good first trimester that are like, well, I'm going to just go all in for the Olympics now. Not that they would give up on the World Cup.
Sure. Yep. I'm really curious about on the women's side, because you're going to have Richard, you're going to have Michelin, you're going to have Grotian, Chirkaida. I think that's such a group of young women. It's like, who comes out on top in that group? Where, like, if you come out on top in that group, you're maybe in the top 5, top 3. That'll be fun.
I would add Tannheimer to that as well.
Yep, Tannheimer. I think that's a good one to add.
And then you have more seasoned athletes like Vitozzi. I can't think of her name. The Norwegian girl you talked about, Tandrevold.
Yep.
Doro, maybe not for the overall, but then Preutz, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be a hard pick. I mean, how do you say that in English? Squeeze my arm, or?
Yeah.
I'd probably still go for Lou. Just because she's so consistent.
Her baseline level is so good that
and that's kind of what I feel with Ligrid as well. That I'm sure there's exceptions, but typically he's always in the mix. And maybe not fighting for a podium all the time, but if he has a bad day, is like, it's still a good race.
He's still like 7th. Like he's not hemorrhaging points. Oh, here's a name for you. Amy Baserga. We didn't mention her at all. I mean, there are a lot of people I didn't mention, but she's young. She's only 25. I feel like she could have a very good year. She was 16th in the overall last year. Got her first podium.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she could find her way.
For the Blue Bib, do you see any athletes not racing in a French suit on the women's side?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think, Grotian will still be in the mix. She's 21. Yeah. So she could still get in there.
And Tannheimer.
Yeah, yep.
It's going to be an interesting season if she's going to come out even better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's the battles this year. I'm fingers crossed. I'm really hoping that we get to see, like, week in, week out, like the French and the German and the Swede relay teams just putting up great performances.
Yeah.
I'm for really on the men's side too, but definitely the women's side.
Really curious about Vogt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what to expect from her at all. I'm just running through, see if there's anybody that we haven't mentioned. We got a lot of people. But, on the men's side. On the men's side,
go ahead.
There's one of the guys that I really liked last year, Hornig, from the Czech team.
Yep.
Had this just magnificent breakthrough year. I'm really hopeful that he can keep that going. Top 20 last year would be great to see him keep moving up. We mentioned Campbell and Pastor.
Is always. Oh yeah, no, Campbell. I definitely
would love to see him flying high.
Yeah. No, Jacquelin. I'm looking forward to seeing him race again, and like every time, you're still hoping that one day he'll pull it off, right?
I have come all the way. Jacquelin used to drive me, like I've gone full circle with him.
Oh, yeah.
He made me want to bang my head against the wall, and now I've just learned to love the chaos. And you know it's coming, and one day it's gonna work out beautifully, and the rest of the time it's just gonna be entertaining.
I just already have a picture of him leading the whole field by a minute in the second lap in Annecy. Just going all out.
I for the rest of the time that we're doing this podcast, I will never forget Campbell Wright. We asked him about Jacquelin, saying, well, I wouldn't say he's a tactical genius.
Yeah. What do you think?
To be fair, Campbell then also said that he himself is not a tactical genius. So
yeah, no, fair. Yeah. No, starting with all the relays, do you like that?
It's a nice appetizer. Yeah, I think it's, for me as a fan, it is sort of low stress. It's a low stress way to get it, to start things off. But
I can't wait.
Yeah.
First race of the season, women relay.
Women's relay. Oh my gosh. It's going to be incredible. Women's relay, it's going to be 7:15 on the Saturday after Thanksgiving in the United States. So my parents are going to be in town. That means Dad and I can get up, we can get a cup of coffee, sit down and watch the races before the kids get up. Well, the kids will wake up during the race. But it's just going to be a great way to start off.
Should be enough manpower to keep it relatively quiet in the biathlon room.
I'm hopeful, yeah. And that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Any last parting thoughts? Anything that you wanted to mention before the season starts?
I'm super excited.
If you made it this far, I'm going to give you a little hint. We have a treat coming on Wednesday. Tobias joined us last week. It was a excellent conversation. I always enjoy our time with Tobias. He was super patient. Also, we had some technical issues. That's happened a lot recently. So I really thank all of our guests who have been patient with us. But
seems like the more we've been paying for Riverside, we started with the free account, and then we started getting subscription, and it's not been getting better per se.
The funny thing is that at first I was like, it's Riverside, maybe it's not all that great, and then I realized that a lot of the Spotify owned podcasts, they run them on Riverside also, so it's not like they don't have huge accounts. So yeah. So anyway, Tobias coming up, enjoy him. He's got a lot of good things to say. He talks about the team and training and kind of where people are, but also talks just about his philosophy on coaching and how he sets things up. And it was good. I had a lot of fun with it.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
I cannot wait to hang out with him again.
I wanted to mention, I think this was our first off season that we did not talk to Matthias. And I don't know
did we not?
If he still listens. No, I don't think we talked to him this season.
No, we talked to him like in April, didn't we?
Am I just drawing a blank here?
Yeah, we talked because...
Wow, you got a lot of cutting to do with the things I'm talking about.
No,
the
I
German
leave men.
Team that's not out yet.
I leave men so everybody can hear.
Yeah. June. It was in June.
It was in June. Yeah, I knew we talked to Matthias. I can't forget talking to Matthias.
My apologies. If you're still listening, Matthias, my apologies.
Matthias will always talk to everybody.
Huh.
All right, I'll shut it down. Let's get out of here.
Yep. Okay. Take care, man.